Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Make New Marketing Podcast. I'm Mia, and this is Grace. And every single week, we make cozy marketing chats all about how we can make marketing new through connection, kindness, bite sized steps, and just make it less about this salesy, icky, hustle, hustle culture
Hopeful.
that it has become, and make it something that you actually want to show up for and will show up for, and that really builds a community that you love and is still really effective.
It's
And
possible.
yeah, we know it works because we've seen it work with the business that we've met at and worked at.
Yep.
We saw it work with that business and we see it work with businesses all the time.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about how to find your unique magic, some questions you can ask yourself. So this is going to be kind of a unique episode where we're going to be going through and we might expand on it some, but mainly we want to get through some questions that you can ask yourself to find your unique magic. So I want you to imagine right now that you're just on a coaching call with us. And I maybe even, you don't have to, I'm not assigning you homework, but it could be helpful if you're watching this to get a notepad out, a pen and a piece of paper to write it down, like whatever, or just write down what we say and go back to it later. But like, we're going to imagine right now that you are coming to us about a candle business and you're trying to figure out what your unique magic is. And so I'm going to, just like if you were a client, we're going to ask you questions we would be asking and like kind of the conversations we would be having just
Mhm.
lightly. Now, this is going to be really up to you because a lot of the time in coaching for marketing, we just know the right questions to ask. Like we know the places to start, the questions to ask. The magic is in like you are the keeper of what's really going to make you stand out. Like the marketers are not the ones who have that for you.
Right.
We just know how to help you find that when you were coaching someone. We know the questions to ask to hopefully help get that out of you and the conversations to have to help you realize what your unique magic is and what like how you can bring that out. So if you were coming to me and you were saying, I have a candle business, like what's special about it? Like I don't have any unique magic. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. We're going to go through these questions. So first I would say, how are your candles different from other candles?
Yep.
So like, is there anything that you have done that is just very different? And I
Uh-huh.
mean, it doesn't mean it's the only one
Yes.
that does it.
Yes.
Okay. I want to say that because I think sometimes when we ask this question, people are like, well, there are people who do this.
Other people do
Okay,
this.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But not everyone does it, right?
Yeah.
Like you probably have something about your product that not nobody else has, but like maybe nobody else has, but that certain other people don't have,
Yes.
is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Maybe other people do it similar,
Mhm.
but we're going to get to how you can still stand out with that. But first off, just like what is something you do differently than some other people?
And usually this is you don't have to dig too deep because usually this is the thing you're most excited to tell people about
Yeah.
your brand, I think. Hey, this is like why what I have is
Yeah.
special.
My
That
candles are
thing.
soy-based candle. Like my candles only use natural fragrances.
Yep,
Okay.
done.
Well, that's something you do that there is a large portion of candle
Mhm.
businesses that don't do that, you know?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Why did you start making candles? Like
Yep.
what was your story?
A why.
Yeah. What was the reason? And I really want you to think of this in a story format. Okay. I want you to think of what was the friction or the whatever it was that made you want to start doing it? Was it a hobby maybe that like you got really stressed out at work? There was a situation maybe that happened at work, you got really stressed out and this was something you could come home and do that calmed you down? Was it something that like you've just always been really passionate about? What was it that got you started? And I want you to think of the full story behind it, okay? Think of this as if somebody was not asking for your life story, but yeah, asking a little more about like, tell me this and
Uh-huh.
tell me your story. Tell
Uh-huh.
me your business story, whatever. What was the hole you saw? Simply,
Ooh.
what was the thing maybe when you started your business with your candles? What was the thing you saw that maybe you either didn't see many people doing or you didn't see people doing at all?
Uh-huh.
That was just like, again, this might tie back to like how your candles are different than other candles, but like,
Mhm.
what was something you saw? Was it that like maybe the candles all smelled good, but they looked ugly? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you were like, I didn't see any other candle that looked pretty sitting in your house, you know? Or maybe the candles were pretty, but they didn't smell good. Or
True.
maybe it was like a soy candle or I don't know much about candles, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, but, maybe it was like a soy candle or a naturally fragrance candle, but you couldn't really smell it good, and
That's
yours are just
happens.
you found out how to make them potent,
Yeah.
where they actually smell. Like, what was the hole that you saw that either wasn't being filled or was not being filled by many people, okay? If this has nothing to do with a, like, hole that you saw, then, like, what was the passion in you? What
Mhm.
was the love that you had for this? Like, what was it that made you wanna
That
start? If
spurred
there's
this.
absolutely nothing that you're like, "Oh, I just really liked doing this." Again, maybe this could tie to your story a little bit, like, well, it was really peaceful to make them, and it just brought me a lot of peace, and hopefully I can, like, impart that peace to other
Yeah.
people whenever hopefully I can bring a little peace to their homes, that when
Yeah.
they've had a stressful day, they can come home and light this candle, and maybe this fragrance will make them feel can trigger their brain to know, "Oh, I'm
Yes.
home and I'm safe," and, like, smells are powerful, and that's a lot of the time when we're talking to people, they're like, "Well, I just do candles or I just do this, so what's special about that?" Like,
There is
there's
something.
even if it brings a smile to someone's face,
Yes.
you don't know how that impacts someone's day. Like, just because it's not changing the whole entirety of the world and it's
Yeah.
not, like, life changing for someone doesn't mean that it doesn't have a positive impact.
Yep.
It does. I guarantee
Dig
you. You
dig
just don't
deeper.
realize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you can start with what's the positive impact it has on you and you can go from there because a lot of the time we're our own target audience
Uh-huh.
and we don't realize it. What are 3 to 5 values that you have for your life slash your candle business? And we have a whole episode on this on how to establish your values, why they're important. So make sure you go take a look at that because we do have some episodes on this. We're not going to go deep into that in this episode on how to do that because we have some good episodes on that. So
Uh-huh.
go find them. I will also link this one in the caption of the video so you have it there. What are a couple hot takes or unique points of view
Ooh, that's a good
that
one.
you have, or even just one? You can start with just one. Like, what's something that when you see another candle business, you're like, they shouldn't do it that way. Or
Yep.
like, I wouldn't have done it that way, or maybe even you're a little judgy about, okay, it's okay that you're not like blasting them on the internet. That's fine. We're not
Yeah.
naming names here, but like, think of that and like maybe something you would do differently.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're someone who's using natural fragrances, maybe it's the candle business is using the unnatural
Right.
fragrances, and you're like that flares up everyone's allergies, and like
Yeah.
so like what is the hot take that you have on it?
Or
Okay.
maybe their candles are $60 a piece and yours are $30
Yeah.
a piece and you feel like they're overcharging for a clean candle. Like whatever it is, like you have something, and so just be honest about it, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Even if it's a little
A little
spicy,
spicy,
a
sure.
little judgy, we're not calling anyone out. You're not gonna do this, right? Like, you are not gonna go on your social media and go tag this business and call them out and be
No,
mean. That's not what this is about.
no.
This is just sometimes figuring out where you have that emotion.
Yes. You're just
It can help
analyzing
you
your own.
identify it, okay?
Yes, you're
That doesn't
analyzing
mean
the
you have to
roots
be
here.
mean, and that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that those people are bad. It just means you think differently and
Yes.
you have a bit of a passion about that, okay? What is the way that you like to connect with people best? Okay, so I know for a long time, and then I'm actually like kind of getting my groove back with this from my past life, but I loved doing videos and talking to people. I loved live videos. I loved videos. Just any kind of like way I could connect with people online through videos. I loved that. And from things that happened in my last job, I'm kind of getting my groove back with that. I think there's a lot of fear for me personally that is around putting myself out there on video again. Um that I'm working on getting over, but like that's just an example. So like how do you like connecting with people? I also personally love going and getting like coffee or cocktails with someone, like just chill summer day, sitting outside, coffee, cocktails, like love that. Um do you like maybe going and doing crafts with people? Like whatever it is, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to connect with people
Mhm.
in that exact way when it comes to marketing your business, but it will give you a good indicator of maybe how you
The
connect with people
approach.
best and how you
Mhm.
enjoy connecting with people. And then we
Yes.
can figure out how to take maybe those same elements and incorporate them
Yeah.
into your marketing and your content.
That's really good. Yeah.
So,
'Cause people have different communication styles and
yeah,
preferences, like, this is your
definitely.
business, your page.
what are the things, like, kind of building on that, what are the things that if you were out in person, you would use as icebreakers to get to
Yes.
know people? Like,
Mm,
what are questions you would be asking, things like that, and so, again, can kind of use this to kinda see your style. Like, do you use humor? Do you use empathy? Do you know, are there go-to questions you have? Like, whatever that is, and then we can maybe incorporate that into the content of what you're making, because really, at the end of the day, a hook is a great icebreaker. So if we can figure out how to take your unique style of
yep.
communicating with people and turn that into a hook in your story and turn that into a hook, then that's going to be a really great icebreaker for your content, your marketing online. Then the last one, if you, when making content for your candle business, marketing your candle business, doing anything, sending an email, making a post, I want you to think through each of those things. What would those things look like if they were so simple that it just didn't even seem like it would work?
Great
Like,
one.
you would just show up for it and be like, "I can't even believe that this is making me money." Like, this is so easy. Write those things down, because I'm not saying
They're
it,
not illegal.
yeah, like, it might not be as simple, I don't know, we'll see, but, like, it's probably a lot simpler than you think. We overcomplicate things in our mind. So, a lot of the time, it just takes us realizing what the simpler version would be and what we're more naturally inclined to do and feels simpler for us to find the type of marketing content, you know productivity kind of setup systems that will work for us.
Mhm.
So go ask yourself these questions, write them down. If you want some feedback on them, comment, let us know. We'll, like, comment back and go back and forth with you and everything. But these really are questions that, like, if you're really wanting to get down to what is my unique magic? How do I need to position my marketing, position my content? These are things that are going to
Mhm.
greatly help. And
Well,
don't be afraid once you do them to revisit them again later, because you're going
right.
to grow and learn more about
True.
yourself and be able to expand on this more.
And don't overthink them. Don't think of this like homework.
No.
Like odds are whatever your first instinctual thought is in
Yep.
answer to these questions, like that's what it is. So just yeah,
Yep.
think a little bit
Anything
deeper.
more than that, a lot of the time it is a curated version of
Yes.
ourselves or like a manufactured version of ourselves.
Yeah. They're
Just like
not
when you're
designed to be
taking
hard.
like a an Enneagram
Mhm.
quiz and stuff, they tell you, they're like, I don't want you to overthink this. Like, you're gonna say the first thing that comes to mind
Yep.
because that's gonna probably be like the
Go
truest
with your gut.
thing
Yeah.
for you. And therefore it's gonna be more accurate. So okay, we hope this helps. Let us know what answers you're doing and what questions you're asking yourself. And if you can think of any questions that have helped you figure this out about yourself,
Let
make
us
sure to
know.
share them and tune in every Friday because we release a new episode, and know that we are over here cheering you on. Bye,
Bye y'all.
y'all.